by 82,000. Just our ordinary maintenance, parts and labor was under budget by 94,000. And then it was not such a cold winter, so our utilities were under budget by 44,000. And on the general fund, we are on the budget, we're at 118,000 for our income less the interest that we've earned on tax credits for the year, so it's a loss of 18,000. And our actual was income of 73,000 with a less of the earned interest for a loss of 69,000. A lot of that is just where our revenue is not quite as high as what our budget was, so we'll have to do a better job in budgeting that one next year.
So we were a little too optimistic.
Yeah. A lot of that is how we record that Sisters Path grant that we basically just pass through. It's an income and it's an expense. Well, that ended, so there's no more, I'm sure when we budgeted, we thought it would be in there for the whole year, so. On business activities, our budget was not quite 71,000, and our actual is 117,000. Big reasons for that is our revenues over budget, and then our maintenance, parts and labor are under budget by 21,000. And then on section 8, we had a budget of a 62,000 loss, and we're 60,000 to the good. So basically, we have our half income less the expenses is about 66,000 over budget, and then our operating expenses under section 8 are under budget of 56.
Do you anticipate we're gonna continue to stay in the black for section 8 through the end of the year?
I think so, because the funding has been pretty steady with it, and unless we go and buy a bunch of stuff, which I don't anticipate, but.
And when we built this budget, we budgeted a loss just because we were concerned about the house.
Well, we've kind of tried to be really conservative on the income part of it, because you just never know. I mean, that's on all of them. And maybe some of the expenses we raised a little bit, and so it's kind of an effect. It's kind of set up so that we should be under budget.
Yeah, and at the time we make the budget, we don't know exactly what HUD's level
Gonna
is.
do, yeah.
Yeah, we've talked about that for years.
Yeah.
Includes the HAP line though, doesn't it?
What?
This includes the HAP line, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, we always budget, we got 1,194 HCD vouchers we can do, and we give 1,194 12 months. They've cost us about 317 to 20 for the last 10 years. They are now, was it at 346 or 350? So you can go above what they give you, but we have to take it out of our, kind of our savings.
You can go above in numbers, but not in dollars.
Yeah. But if we stop issuing up, giving all of our families, supporting all of our 1,194 families, it'll start winding down, and they won't give us as many. So we've always went with the idea, and that's, I think, the right way to do it is, and so does Bud and Naro and everyone, to always budget your full allotment. So our section 8 staff has done a wonderful job in keeping them budgeted at 100%. They said the national average is 80, which I can't imagine.
So it's basically, if we don't spend the money, we're not gonna get it next year, is
Yeah.
basically what Jill said.
Yeah, but it's because we're supporting our families. It isn't because anyone's spending, it isn't admin money, it's half money going to landlords,
Understand.
supporting families.
And HUD wouldn't think you need money.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what they say.
They say it.
Yeah.
questions?
Nothing else.
Thank you very much. Let's move on to old business. Development consultant.
Yeah, so we had an RFP out for a consultant to help with our development. And we had two good responses to the RFP. One was a firm out of town near Seattle, I forget the town name. Was it from Seattle?
Seattle.
A firm with, and then we had another respondent from Denver. And either one of them we would have been fine to work with, I'm sure. We selected the one from Denver for a couple reasons. It was a little less cost, and it was an individual we worked with in the past and successfully and had a good relationship with, and who was familiar with our project, so. We didn't see any reason to change. So we've entered into a contract with her, or the consultant's name is Andrea Davis. She has a history of, she worked for the King County Housing Authority as a developer. And then from there, she moved to Los Angeles, working as a developer for the LA Housing Authority. And from there, she went to the Denver Housing Authority for 2 or 3 years and did several projects with them, RAD projects. And she's been an independent consultant now for 2 years, I think. So.
Angela Davis, you said?
Andrea.
Andrea.
Andrea Davis, so, we've been real happy with her work. She's been real responsive and, we're, I think, one of her major clients, so she's on top of things with us, so. We just actually yesterday signed that contract. So. And then,